This entire academy is designed for you as the pilot. And so it's designed to take you from a place of after you've graduated, you don't have a job, you don't have a career yet, and you don't really have a professional profile. We're going to take you from that spot to a respectable status with a high quality cover letter and resume. And then we're going to take you and show you a clear path to start your career, to set you up for the best possible chance of getting interviewed and hired by the desired company that you want. This is the course for pilots. This is the Academy for Pilots, and you are here. Welcome. My name is Seth, and I am your host today. Thank you so very much for being here. This is the first course in the Academy. We're going to get right into it. I think you'll get lots of value out of this course, and this will help you get started as a commercial pilot. This course would be completely useless if we didn't talk about how to actually execute, how to choose, how to make a decision. So we're going to go through those three in this course right now. But first, let's talk about the pre-flight. Every course is going to have a pre-flight. We're going to talk about what you can expect to accomplish in this course. So by the end of this course, you are going to accomplish the following. You're going to understand the importance of clarity over confusion. You're going to understand your own personality traits and how to use them. You're going to know which pilot jobs will go well with your specific personality. I'm going to use myself as an example, and we'll get into that. And then, of course, you need to have, and you'll learn how to have clarity to which pilot career path you should and want to take. All right, so we're going to get into all of that. Get your notes ready, write down some things, and we will get into this right now. All right, look at this guy standing here at the edge of the earth, and he's like, what in the heck am I going to do now? There's too much fog. I can't see the shore on the other side. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what kind of pilot I want to be. I don't understand how to get myself a job. I don't understand what I need to do to set myself up for success. There's too much noise. There's too much fog. Maybe you feel this way. Maybe you have felt this way. I got news for you. I felt this way, and I got through it. I burned off the fog. This course is going to teach you how to burn off the fog and get yourself ready to make some decisions. Get yourself ready. You're going to be like this guy at the end of the dock for a long, long time if you don't get clear, if you don't get focused. Clarity is absolutely king, okay? It is very important that you understand that being clear and focused in your pilot career path will get you success, okay? It absolutely will get you success. So let's start with the first module. Clarity is absolutely king. So you might be like that guy standing at the edge of the dock. You might have the fog, and you might just be thinking to yourself, what am I going to do? I have this commercial pilot certificate. I just got it in the mail. I opened it up. I looked at it. It says, I'm a commercial pilot. Now what? Now what do I do? Yeah, that's it. That's how that overwhelming thought can to come across you, and you can just feel completely lost. I know that feeling, man. I know that feeling. It's a horrible feeling. So let's fix it. All right, we're gonna fix it together. We're gonna burn off the fog. You're probably feeling confusion. You just don't have a clear direction. That's okay. All right, that's okay. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get through it. This course is designed to help you pick your pilot career path and get focused on an end goal. So first thing, just take a breath, take a step back, get outside of your own head, clear your mind, refresh your perspective. That might be going up into the mountains and just enjoying a nice day in the forest by the creek. Just clear your thoughts, clear your head. That might be going back into your favorite airplane and going flying for fun. Just fun. No work, no maneuvers, no IFR stuff, no anything, no chandelles, no nothing. You're just going flying. You're going to go to a place, you're going to get $100 hamburger, you're going to come back, you're just going to have fun. Whatever it takes for you to get your perspective right, whatever it takes for you to reset your mind and get it fresh, you'll be really surprised by how much you actually think of and how much you actually discover about yourself when you do that. Okay, I do this often because you get kind of cluttered down with life and everything. And when you go clear your mind and you get focused, you start coming up with some pretty good ideas that just come out of your brain, just from nowhere. Write those down, start making decisions like you can get there, and it works. I've got a quote for you here. Clarity is the antidote to confusion. And clear thinking requires courage over intelligence. That was said by Thomas Szazz. I can't pronounce this guy's name. Szazz. Szazz. I don't know. It's funny. He's got a quote here about clarity, and I'm not clear on how to say his last name. Whatever. Anyways, let's break that down. Clear thinking requires courage rather than intelligence. Courage is an action. It's not just a mindset. I mean, it is a mindset, but it's an action. It's you going and making the first step and doing something. So to get clear thinking, you've got to go clear your mind. You got to get to a point where you think, I want to be this pilot that does these great things and does this and does that. But you've got to really bring the noise down, and it takes courage to step out to do that. The intelligence isn't going to do that for you. Book smarts aren't going to do that for you. You've got to take the courage, find it within yourself to make that decision before you get started. Clarity is the antidote to confusion. It's just like this guy, right? Like I said, standing at the edge of the dock, doesn't know what to do, doesn't know where to go, feels confused. We want to get you out of that space. We want to get you out of that mindset. It's very possible, okay? So as soon as you get the clarity, the cloudiness of your current mindset and situation will begin to burn off. It really will. You can think of it like, a day when you went out to fly at the airport, right? And you're doing it for fun or training or whatever. You want to fly VFR. You show up. Had this happen so many times. You show up, and as soon as you walked out to the airplane, it was low fog and low IFR all over the airport. Well, great. I had a plan. I had a mission, and now it's been thwarted because I can't see the runway. In the case of low IFR and very low visibility, if you were to taxi out to the runway and you didn't have any kind of plan, without a map or without progressive taxi or anything, you would most certainly get lost. It's a certainty. So why would you do that? Why would you go out into an environment that's IFR, whether it's on the ground or whether it's in your career? Why would you do that without a plan? Why would you do that without some kind of focus and goal? The truth is, you wouldn't do that. We know that as pilots. You can refer this to like IFR flying. If you go out into the clouds and you go out, you're going to get lost and things are going to end very badly. So why do that with your career? You shouldn't. And the fact that you're here in this course tells me that you're not that kind of person. You're ready to make a plan. You're ready to make the steps to get there. So I'm really proud of you for making that step. So, all right, low IFR, low visibility, taxi out to the runway, you're going to get lost. Let alone get to the runway to take off and start your journey to get to your destination. But you can't even get to the runway because it's foggy without some kind of progressive taxi, which this course is your progressive taxi. This is you calling up ATC and saying, I'm lost. I need help. I need to get to runway 33. Can you guide me? And I, as the ATC voice, is telling you, yes. All right, start taxiing towards Alpha Alpha. Turn right on Delta. Then turn left on Lima Echo, cross runway 15, and then proceed down Delta and to runway 33. That's what this course and this academy is going to do. It's going to guide you and give you actual steps step by step by step for you to take to get you to the runway. And once you get to the runway and you've got all the tools you need, full throttles forward, boom, you're off. You're taking off and you're flying and your career has started and your journey has started. So we're going to taxi you to the runway. Okay, so we're going to talk about navigating your thoughts and your dreams. You might be like this guy right here, right? He's confused. He doesn't know if he wants to be an airline pilot. He doesn't know if he wants to be a commercial private charter pilot. He doesn't know if he wants to be an ag pilot or an air show race pilot, whatever. He just doesn't know, right? We don't want to be that guy. We want to be somebody who has focus. Because if you continue down this path and you don't know where you're going to go or how you're going to start that trip on how to get there, well, that's not going to work, right? We kind of talked about that already. That's not going to work. It's not going to help you get there and help you get there the right way. So what you need to do is you need to have a place to navigate to, or you're just going to get lost. Like if you decide today, I'm going to Memphis, all right? And you don't have okay, well, how are you going to get there? Well, I'm just going to put the airplane in the sky and I'll get there. Well, what plan do you have? What tools do you have? I don't know. I don't have an E6B. I don't have ForeFlight. I don't have any of that stuff. I'm just going to kind of point. I know Memphis is to the east, so I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to go. Pretty much guarantee you in about 20 minutes, you're going to be off course and you're going to get lost. You're not going to make it to Memphis. You'll end up in Pennsylvania. Okay. So you got to have a prior planning, right? You know this. You've been through commercial pilot school. You've been through IFR. Probably you've been through how to navigate and how to do cross-country flying. You know how to do these things. Well, it's not any different than your career. Okay, you have to have a goal. I want to be an airline pilot. Well, how are you going to get there? I don't know. Do you have a map? No. Do you have an E6B for guidance, for navigation? No. So having that clarity from the beginning is going to set you up for success. And is going to navigate you along your path. So to understand for that clarity to work, it's critical for you to be able to accomplish your goals. Because the thing is when brand new pilots to the world of commercial aviation, this might be yourself. This might be, you might be watching this before you graduate, which is kind of the best time because you haven't crossed the realm into the commercial world yet. This is a good time to get yourself set up for success before you jump in. This is what I wish I had. It's an emotional roller coaster trying to figure out what to do next after you graduate. Like I said, you get that certificate in the mail and you don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. It's an emotional roller coaster. You don't want to be in that space because you're not going to get anything accomplished. Or if you fail to plan, you're going to plan to fail. So clarity helps. Clarity of direction is going to help you achieve your stability in your life and help you avoid making high risk decisions. Like I said before, if you take off from the airport and you're going to go to Memphis, especially if it's low IFR, you're not going to get there. This is extremely, extremely high risk. And that's not smart. That's not a good way to operate. That's going to get you killed. You don't want to kill your career. All right. So having that clarity, this is why I'm really hitting clarity hard, because this is really the first spot where you have to get this down. You've got to understand clarity first within yourself. If you were like me, okay, as soon as you graduated your commercial pilot flight school, you're standing in the parking lot and you're looking at your pilot certificate and you're like, man, what am I going to do now? It felt like you were kind of kicked out of the nest and felt completely lost. That's not good. And unfortunately, the system that exists now, the commercial pilot flight school, they don't have stuff like this to set you up for success. My goal is to have courses like this be in flight schools before pilots graduate, so that way they can be ready to graduate. That's important. All right. So what's next? All right. You need to understand something here, okay? The first thing is that nobody else is going to do this for you. Nobody is going to do this for you. Unfortunately, this world is full of a ton of selfishness, okay? People only care about themselves. and they only care about the outcome of themselves. I personally, it's my personal goal, my personal dream is to be a selfless pilot, somebody who has experience, has high time, and I can turn around and I can help the guy behind me, which is you. I can turn around and say, here's how I did it. I want you to do that too. I want to share the knowledge and the experience that I've gone through. We're going to take a decade of learning, or decades into days of learning for you. So that way you can cut through all the mistakes that I've made and other high time pilots have made. We're going to cut it down into a shorter amount of time for you so you can get to your goal. I can't push the throttles forward for you to take off on the runway. All I can do is teach you how to get to the runway. Okay. But the thing is that nobody's going to do it for you. You've got to do it yourself. And if you understand that, you get in the right mindset where you're like, it's on me. I've got to be the one who takes action. I've got to be the one who gets up in the morning, takes a shower, jumps on the computer and starts networking and start building my resume and building my cover letter. And my job right now is 8 hours a day of getting on the computer and sending resumes and finding out who is hiring and sending job applications. All that stuff is on you. And you can do this, okay? I've done it and I know you can do it. It just takes time, dedication, focus, and clarity. If you're fresh out of flight school, nobody's really going to help you the way your flight instructor did. You're kind of on your own now. You're not completely on your own because you're here, and we'll get into more later about networking and getting connected with pilots like myself and other high-time pilots. You're not 100% on your own, but you're on your own as nobody is there to take the airplane when it starts to turn and go into a spin, like a flight instructor would do. You're going to be the one who has to make the corrections. You're going to be the one who has to make the mistakes. And hopefully your mistakes are small and short, and that this entire academy gives you the opportunity to make very small mistakes and learn from mine. But what this means is that you're going to have to become your own advocate, okay? You have to be the person that motivates yourself. And the thing is that motivation and self-actualization, self-awareness is the most difficult thing to teach to somebody. It's almost impossible to teach because I can't teach you how to motivate yourself because I don't know you. I'm not in your head. I understand the mindset that you might be in, and I understand the kind of the path that you're on and the thoughts you might have because I've had the same, but I don't know you. I don't know you and your personality. I don't know what makes you tick. I don't know what makes you laugh or what makes you feel good. And so knowing yourself is the very, very most difficult thing. But if you get that right, if you figure yourself out, you are unstoppable. Okay. You are absolutely unstoppable. If you say to yourself, I am going to be a FedEx cargo pilot. That is my goal. That is my dream. Man, nobody's stopping you. You just have to start making the steps, and you have to be patient, and you have to get through all the things that it takes to get to that. But one day you're going to look back and you're going to say, I did it. I motivated myself. I became a commercial pilot, a FedEx pilot, whatever it is. And I knocked it out of the park, and it was on me, and you can feel proud about that. Okay. But where you're at right now, like, try to have that goal and have that focus, but focus even smaller. You know, the whole eat an elephant one bite at a time thing. That's where you're at right now, taking one step at a time, one day at a time until you get there. Okay, so motivate yourself. But here's the thing, the commitment is just as important. You have to commit to yourself. You have to commit to you and tell yourself that you will accomplish your goals, and that when you do accomplish your goals, you will carry such a sense of accomplishment because you did it on your own. It was you. You made it happen, and you're going to be very proud of yourself. Okay. So what that means is that you have a brand new business, and it's called Me the Pilot LLC, methepilot.com, right? This is me advocating for myself. This is me taking action. This is me putting myself out there, putting myself to where I'm confused, and then I fix it. I get clear, and then nobody's going to stop me. Nobody's going to stop me. I'm going to become the pilot that I want to be. I'm going to accomplish my goals and my dreams. I'm going to make it happen, and nobody's going to stop me. I want you to be this person. I want you to be this pilot because I know you can do it. I've seen other people do it. And the only people that did it were the people who focused, were successful, not because it got handed to them, but because they worked for it, okay? It's Me LLC. Who's the CEO? You are, all right? Who's in charge of the finances? You are, okay? Who's in charge of bringing new streams of income into your business? You. Streams of income to buy, hours or invest in your education. You're in charge of that, okay? You wear all the hats. Who's responsible for the money to spend to grow this Me LLC business? You are. You're responsible for that, okay? You have to wear all the hats, all right? You have to get started, and you have to take it one day at a time. That's important. Patience is so important. If you know that you're going to be here and you want to be there now, it's just not going to happen. Life doesn't work that way. It's like when you first started your commercial pilot training, or even when you first started your very first flight, it was like, I want to be a pilot. I want to be a commercial pilot. I want to do cool pilot stuff, blah, blah, blah. And if you think about where you are now compared to where you were then, and think about all the time in between, all the hours, all the flights, all the cancellations, all the check rides, all the studying, all of that has to happen for you to get from where you were to where you are now. Now you're on a new journey. You're on a new path. Now you have to do it again, but it's different tests, different tasks, and different steps, and different courses, and different, resumes and job applications. It's all the same. It's work, be patient, work, be patient, work, be patient, celebrate a success, work, be patient, work, be patient, celebrate another big success until you get there, and you will. Okay. You have to commit to clarity. Okay. You have to commit to getting focused and getting clear. And that's why I created an entire module just on this aspect, on this subject, because it's so important to be clear and know where you're going. Because, hey, man, if you don't know where you're going, how is anybody else going to? Okay. If you don't know how you're going to accomplish something, and when you get into a pilot interview and they ask you, what do you want to do in 5 years? And you're like, I don't know, it's not going to go over well. You've got to understand these things first before you go in there. It's going to take time. But clarity precedes success. This is a quote by Robin Sharma. Clarity comes before success. You want to be successful? Get clear, get focused, get to work, and become successful. In the next module, we're going to talk about how to understand your personality, how to align it with your job career goals, and how to not fight your own personality to actually make them happen together. All right. So that is the first module of Clarity is King. I will see you in the next module, and I'm looking forward to getting into that.